Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming here with just a quick upload. Jumped on Mackerel server today, running with RL Stein, who's playing their BB Stein character, and Vector, who's playing Vector. I'm running Grumpo Guy the Long Arm, and this is the dungeon half of a level 20 water element field we're running. The keywords are escaping me. I just sort of was fiddling around with things till I found level 20. Basically, we were just running for the sake of running and alternately to help BB level up a bit. As you could see, they were level 4 here. We ended up running a dungeon after this as well. Vector bowed out after this one, and Spooky joined in with Zaveth, their long arm, and we managed to, I think at the point I bowed out, BB was up to level 10. But we're gonna see some interesting monsters here. We've got a Squilla Demon. These things kind of look like mantises. In fact, the leveled up version of them is literally just called Mantis, and it's green, save for the lack of hind legs there. They have this weird sort of attack going on where they can hit you as they cast their attack boost, so a bit of a thing to look out for, and it's a giant enemy, which generally means they're easier to physically hit. Give a good chunk of experience too, but they usually hit the hardest as well. Here we had a bit of a hiccup trying to figure out which door to go through. Always happy to record team footage. Wish I could do it a bit more often. Sadly, with my schedule, I tend to just upload whenever I have free time, and that means a lot of soloing for me, but always cool to get a party going here. One, because it is by far and away the most beneficial way to play, and two, it's just a blast. Get to hang out with a bunch of people, sort of catch up with them, and the fragment community is really just sort of awesome in general. Very supportive, very helpful. Here we're backtracking a bit because that door is going to lead us right towards the stairs down to the next level, and we kind of want to go back a bit. Didn't really think of that at the time, so I got a little confused and turned around there, but eventually we all get there. I finally get on the same page as everyone else. Gonna blame this one on the coffee. It had started to wear off by this time. Another important lesson for anybody looking to get into an RPG. Caffeinate. Just kidding there. Coming back across this little room, festively decked out for Halloween, which is only, 11 months and a few odd weeks away. Here we come up on some nomadic bones and another Squilla Demon. Vector and I are getting the odd attack in, but our main job is the body there for BB playing the Wave Master. The big thing is we don't want things to get to BB too much, because Wave Masters are incredibly fragile. See those 109 hit points at this point in the video would kind of go down in an instant if that Squilla Demon got there. So basically it's our job to stand in front until she got a hit, and then we can go ahead and finish off. I believe Vector's high level between the three of us. Yeah, easily high level. I want to say they're playing a heavy blade, judging by the sword in hand. Not 100%, but I think I may have leveled there. Yep. I leveled there. Throw out my little thank you for the congratulatory message. I remembered leveling, I just didn't remember it being so early in the floor. Now making our way back across towards the exit. This dungeon was only a few floors. I don't think it was that many in general. Can't remember off the top of my head, but judging by the length of this video, we're not going too deep down. And of course we got our speed charms up. BB's going to be buffed to heck and back, and Vector's got a good amount himself. I've got a few up at this point. I've got Lightning, the Thunder element up. Looks like physical accuracy as well, and a speed charm. I'd seen on the Discord yesterday somebody had mentioned about turning off the frame limiter on emulation and running with a speed charm for super fast. That'd be kind of fun. Probably a bit crazy if you're running a twin blade though. Feel like the entire world's in fast forward. Could only imagine how fast your attacks would be going. That might be worth a try. I don't know, if you've ever run a twin blade with the frame limiter off, let me know how it goes. I'm sure it would be a blast, but if you got any first-hand examples, stories are always great. Once again, running up on some nomadic bones and some squilla demons. As you saw, something just barely got to Stein there, and those hit points just went down in an instant. Managed to get through without anything too serious happening, and that health regen buff isn't going to hurt either, but everything hits the Wave Master hard, sadly. Of course, on the other hand, it's the only real ranged class in the game. For anything else, you need to use scrolls, so. There I was at pots. I thought the Squilla Demon was down, and I literally ran away from it while it was at like 2 hit points. So I was able to heal a good bit back, but still we took it down in pretty quick time. At this point, I'm just motioning for everyone to go down to the seemingly empty room, because knowing the shape of the room, there's going to be some breakable objects in here. Typically, this is about the only thing I'll run after in a party dungeon. One, it fills you back up with the antidotes and restoratives, the things you always tend to be using anyway. And two, I don't like being greedy. You know, I get to play a lot of Fragment. Far more than I was ever intended to, because the game was never released in the United States. But on a serious note, I solo so much with my characters just uploading content and everything, and occasionally I'll get to play with the missus. When she gets on, I'll get to run a couple dungeons with her. I get so much gear throughout the course of a week and items and everything. I just feel kind of greedy going for chests in party dungeons like this. I'm basically along for the ride. You can see those 5 gems up there. That's the awakening meter. Have yet to do an awakening. At some point I'd like to do that. It's one of those things you really have to sit there and sort of plan out though. Probably good for if you're on voice chat or if you talk it out beforehand. Get the shortcut set up and decide when you're gonna go for it. I've seen them fail a bunch. Somebody triggers it, nobody else does. Next thing you know, a little message pops up and you lose a couple dots off that meter. Just working our way back now to this big old room. Didn't really preview this footage too much, so I'm hoping it doesn't get too laggy here. Yeah, there was a little bit of slowdown playing. I actually had to close out of Discord while I was doing this capture, so things didn't get too choppy. I believe there's plenty of evidence of what happens if I don't on the channel previously. A lot of times it's just fun to do party for like captures like this, being able to show an outside perspective of other people's attacks and whatnot. I think Vector's got one of those awesome heavy blade swords that's got lifesteal and critical hit, I believe. 2 abilities on the blade, double your fun. Of course, I'm not complaining. The spear I'm using in this episode, in this upload, was a gift from Vector, so holding on to that thing, making sure to back up my save file just in case something goes wrong, learn my lesson there. Here you can see already, BB's just knocking out those nomadic bones with the tornado spell. I want to say that's Thunder Element, just off the shade of it. Ice could be playing tricks on me, it could be Earth Element, but with the damage it's throwing, I feel like Rhyrom is the right call there. Big critical there. Yeah, I think I was the one who landed that critical, so yay me, I did a thing. Already on the 2nd floor. I know we transitioned at some point, I'm sorry I missed that. Another thing I missed was everybody turning the opposite way, and then I caused this whole cluster. I do apologize, I'm kind of the worst with direction. This is why I tend to just follow people when hanging out in real life. Just wherever they go, I go along. Otherwise, I do tend to get lost. Then everybody has to look for the damn sarcastic oak tree. Another group taken out in quick succession. Running ourselves out of portals in a hurry here. Don't think there's too much left to do on this floor save for go to the exit, and that's the way we're going, in fact. We may have skipped a thing or two. I can't remember if we completely 100%ed this or we just close enough that... I know we kind of close enough to the second one because we used the ill-fated whale shark keyword, which always leads to some awesome treasure, but also leads to a 10-floor dungeon. So even moving as quickly as we did in the second sorry, now in English, in the second adventure, it still took about an hour. Sorry about that. Words have been just failing me all day. You ever get those days where you just can't say a thing for the life of you? But then you gotta talk? Yeah, that was my whole day. Coming up to an L-shaped room here. Got a portal in the corner. Coming out of it is an arrowfish and a lamia. Not getting too close to the arrowfish, to the lamia there. I'm just basically looking out because I know the arrowfish can poison. It's not a big thing, but I tend to look for Retain, the antidote adjacent spell, just so I have that ability to cure poison on command. It's not going to do anything too big anyway because we've got health regen, I think. I want to say Vector had that buff. Not 100% on who's, you know, popping it on all of us, but very grateful they are. Saves a lot of healing time to just be able to walk in your downtime. Like a goof because I'm so resource cheap in RPGs, playing in not so much infection, but when you get into like mutation and outbreak, I would just sit there and get, you know, Rig Sam and Rig Geem on, and anytime you clear a portal, just slow walk around the room for a while till everything, you know, got back in accord. Heaven forbid I just hit a potion and finish a dungeon in less than an hour and a half, right? Once again, go into one of those breakable object-filled rooms. They're good stress relievers, those rooms with the breakable objects. You go in, smash a few barrels, take a deep breath, feel better about the day. You know, it's like herbal tea for the sharp objects. Moving up through this little diagonal hallway. Looking like, really, I feel Hot Topic should. Then cutting this little T-shaped room here. Got Parasquilla Demon coming out here. That one hit me, as you can see, well over 100 damage on that hit. Got its little attack buff up. You see the sword spinning above its head there. That would be App Corv if you're playing skill name bingo. Somebody needs to make that. Can we make a skill name bingo card? Foul rep. Bingo! Yeah, I know. Not funny. Only got a few portals left in this dungeon already. See, told you, nice and quick. 3 floors from the looks of it. Crazy how quick this went by. Coming into this dead-end hallway here, and we've got a Parasquilla Demons and a Lamia Fighter. I mean, BB's just chucking damage everywhere, and Vector just flat out decapitated that Squilla Demon, just one hitting down after the spell. Another cool thing about partying up, you get to see those tactics form naturally. Like, it's fun the amount of interaction you could have with the NPCs and offline, don't get me wrong. It's great that you have that strategy game element built into an RPG, but at the same time, it really feels cool to be looking and knowing that, like, you're going into battle and then all of a sudden Wave Master drops an awesome fire spell. And now the entire enemy line is weakened, and you just go in for the kill. Speaking of going in for the kill, big flashy attack from Vector on that one, some sort of spinning thing. Not so good with the attack skills. You think I would be running a Blade Master right away, but honestly I don't use the attack skills for the Blade Master that often. The occasional crack or revolver. That's about it. Here we're going, and we find ourselves at the statue room. Sort of have our awkward stare at the chest here, decide who's gonna take it. Always fun to sit in these statue rooms. This is about where a third of the dialogue in Sign happens, if I recall correctly. Rooms like this. Yep, BB takes the slow walk up, grabs the chest. As they should, because we were there to help them out. So this is another run in the books. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to check out or do in future videos. Always happy to take a suggestion. In the meantime, I will thank you for watching this somewhat abbreviated upload from me. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Hope everything is well with you, and we will catch you next time.